I once went to a friend's house somewhere, and I keep telling this story because it was a bit shocking. So I walk into this house, and it's a beautiful house. They have grass outside. Those of you who live in Nairobi, you understand. That's a big deal. They have grass outside. And so I guess they had a leak in the house. And so one of the walls had gone black, like completely black. And you go into the kitchen, and their drawers have come out of the groove. And the paint is peeling off. And I guess it's because it's not their house, they're renting, right? And so why bother taking care of it? And then I came across this particular parable that was given by Jesus, and he was speaking to his disciples. And I was in shock. I was like, wow, this is interesting. And it's Luke 16. And allow me to read it. It says, Jesus told his disciples, there was a rich man whose manager was accused of wasting his possessions. So he called him in and asked him, what is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management, because you cannot be manager any longer. The manager said to himself, what shall I do now? My master is taking away my job. I'm not strong enough to dig, and I'm ashamed to beg. I know what I'll do so that when I lose my job here, people will welcome me into their houses. So he called each one of his master's debtors. He asked the first, how much do you owe my master? 900 gallons of olive oil, he replied. The manager told him, take your bill, sit down quickly, and make it 450. Then he asked the second, how much do you owe? And he said, 1,000 bushels of wheat, he replied. He told him, take your bill, make it 800. The master commended the dishonest manager because he had acted shrewdly. For the people of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own kind than are the people of the light. I tell you, use worldly wealth to gain friends for yourselves, so that when it is gone, you will be welcomed into eternal dwellings. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you property of your own? It's quite sobering, isn't it? And I read it in the Message version, and I found it very interesting. And this is what it says, verse 8 to 9. Now here's a surprise. The master praised the crooked manager. And why? Because he knew how to look after himself. Street-wise people are smarter in this regard than law-abiding citizens. They are on constant alert, looking for angles, surviving by their wits. I want you to be smart in the same way, but for what is right, using every adversity to stimulate you to creative survival, to concentrate your attention on the bare essentials, so you live, really live, and not complacently just get by on good behavior. So, I mean, what does that all mean? When we come down to it, what does it mean? You know, how then do I behave? And what action should I then take? I think simply, if you earn 50,000 shillings, whatever it is you earn, whether that's per week or per month, it doesn't matter. You need to set aside a certain percentage of that money for saving to invest for your future. Every single income that comes in, different advisors say different things. For me, I say it needs to be 12.5%. And we can have a chat on the side to discuss why. Secondly, you need to tap into your creativity. Guess what, guys? We are created in whose image? God's image. We are created in God's image. The God who created butterflies, the God who created dolphins, the God who created jellyfish, and other amazing things like mountains and valleys and the seas and beautiful locations. That God, I am created in whose image? You are creative just like God is. In every single one of us, you have an imagination that can help you create solutions for the problems that exist in this community, in this continent, and on this world. You have creativity in you. We just need to tap into it. But you know what happens? We spend time watching movies and spending our evenings catching up on the latest series. You know, it's interesting. I was watching a certain rabbi. He's called Rabbi Daniel Lapin, just talk about Jews. And he said Jewish mothers don't allow their kids to watch TV. And I was like, really? Why? And like, not at all. And he said, you know, the reason they don't allow their kids to watch TV is because the television and watching a lot of it kills creativity and imagination. When you think about it, have you ever read a book and then watched a movie? Anybody done that? What happens when you watch the movie? You get disappointed, don't you? You're just like, these guys didn't do the right thing. It's because when you read the book, your imagination went wild. You created your own world, and you went into a place that was just amazing. But now, you watch this thing and continue watching, then you stop exercising your ability to continue to imagine. I tell you, in this place, there are businesses that are about to be birthed, but they will not be birthed unless you spend time in reading and making yourself better at being creative and building your imagination. I said there's businesses in this place that are about to be birthed. Creative solutions for the problems we are facing as a society and as a country and as a world. We just need to do what? Tap into our creativity.